Ultraviolet honey crystals. They're the bee's knees. Check it out. Glow-in-the-dark powder. Okay, unfreeze. That's enough. It's super bright, considering how much light there is in the room. And a 3D printed crystal. There are really two crystals, one inside the other, to make a gap between the bigger and smaller shells. You can kind of see the inner crystal. Here's what it looked like while it was printing, with the inner shell and the outer shell. Printing instructions are in the description. Also, honey. Why honey? There are three reasons. Nope. Number 1. Honey is immortal. It never goes bad. Archaeologists have found honey from ancient Egypt, which is at minimum several weeks older than anything in my fridge. Number 2. Destiny, or density. It's about the same specific gravity as the glow-in-the-dark powder, so once it's mixed, it should pretty much stay mixed. And number 3, honey fluoresces under UV light. As a bonus, it gives off its own faint glow when you shine UV light on it, which you can see most clearly around the edge of the honey blob here. I'll heat up some honey, so it's mixable and can flow into the crystal. I'm going to use this Peltier device, and put its cool side on this heatsink that I pulled out of a stereo probably, but it doesn't matter how it melts. Warm already. And the powder. While that heats up, I'll make the internal UV light. I'll take 3 of these 400 nanometer UV LEDs and put them in the middle of the crystal. Something like that. Each LED gets its own 100 ohm resistor. I didn't fast forward this section of the video. This is my natural soldering speed. I also have a lead foot. I'm stacking the LEDs in parallel so they look like this. I'm gonna add a micro USB port, so I'll snap one off. After a bunch of fiddling, it fits pretty well. So I'll solder the USB port onto the LEDs. And the honey is ready to mix. I'm gonna let it sit for quite a while so the bubbles can rise out. Nobody likes bubbles. I left 2 holes at the base of the crystal, so air can come out one side, while honey goes in the other. I put a fan next to the crystal to cool it off, and let it sit even longer this time to try to get more of the air out. I'm going to seal off the holes with hot glue, but I learned the hard way, when gluing 3D printed stuff, it's better to keep the glue temperature down well below 200 degrees Celsius. Actually, I learned that the soft way. With the lights back in place, I add hot glue in layers, mostly just to hold the USB port, but also so the crystal isn't too top heavy. And that's it, here's the finished crystal again. Even with a very bright light directly on it, the LEDs, glow-in-the-dark powder, and honey produce clearly visible light. As the only light source, it would be enough to read by, and might be a bit too much for a nightlight. Hey, before you accuse me of running on faith, I'll just get this unplugged.